I'm here today by order of lukewarm Luke Owen, and he has decreed that today's news must be stacked. Oh, God. Hello? Hi, Luke. Yep. Yes, the news is stacked, I did say it. Yes, I said it with enthusiasm. How do you know that I didn't? Fine. I'll do it. Just, fine. Today's news is stacked. I am Corporate Chopper. I am Q-Tip. Now let's do the news. Since returning at SummerSlam, it's fair to say that Roman Reigns has been the best thing in WWE, though, admittedly, that bar isn't very high on the Raw side of things. His new heel character and aligning himself with Paul Heyman has solidified every segment he's in as must-watch TV, and he feels and carries himself like an absolute megastar, and I, for one, am thoroughly excited to watch him destroy not only the body but the soul and the spirit of Jey Uso at Clash of Champions Gold Rush. But looking beyond this Sunday's Clash of Champions Golden Nuggets, it appears that WrestleMania plans for Roman may be getting a little more solidified. As this current feud with Jey Uso has been built all around family, including a brilliant video package from SmackDown outlining Paul Heyman's work with the Anoa'i family and their interconnected history, speculation online has been rampant that at some point Roman Reigns has to face The Rock as the culmination of this family feud. And when asked about it, John the Dwayne Rockson agrees. In a video posted to The Rock's YouTube channel, he spoke about who he would want to face if he returned at WrestleMania, and he very openly stated that Roman would be the one to make the most sense. Well, if you were to go back to WrestleMania, who would be the opponent that you would face? It feels like the one that would make the most sense, right, would be Roman. In terms of box office draw, it would be huge. This would be The Rock's first match since WrestleMania 32, when he beat Eric Rowan in seconds. He also joked that WWE would want him to get his win back, like the back-to-back WrestleMania main events between John Cena and Rocky at WrestleMania 28 and 29. I'm not going down that road because I know how that conversation goes. Listen, here's what we're thinking. Roman beats you now at this WrestleMania? But listen, before you guys say anything, then on the next one, that's when... But you know what? I would be honored to not only share the ring with Roman and to go back to the WWE, but of course, I'd be honored to have him raise his hand on that one. Wow. Spoilers? Would you want to see Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 37? Let me know in the comments because I'll be replying to people from out of Jey Uso's destroyed soul and body after Clash of Champions this Sunday. And speaking of Clash of Champions Gold Digger, Roman himself has confirmed to be wrestling in new gear this Sunday via a virtual meet and greet, telling a fan, if you watch on Sunday, you'll probably see me with my shirt off. That will be the change. While also mentioning he'll be getting new music soon too, once his character gets a bit more evil. It's not like I came out and am an ultra bad guy. You've seen it in little steps and little layers. I want all the nuances to add up. Hopefully down the line, once more drastic things happen and the story unfolds. Drastic things like murdering your cousin this Sunday, please? But while the praise has been pouring in for Roman Reigns since his return, people haven't been quite so happy about Retribution after this week's episode of Raw. And it turns out it's not just the fans that were openly laughing about it, as WWE backstage were too. Thank you for being awesome Pledgehammers on Patreon, Rip and Liam Tear, and the Fresh Princeton El Gainey. After this week's Raw, when the 5 main Retribution members unmasked themselves to reveal smaller masks underneath, fans collectively went which was only turned into a full laugh when it was confirmed by the commentary team no less that their new names were T-Bar, Mace, and Slapjack. Slapjack. I can't get over it. According to the ever-reliable WrestleVotes, people backstage in WWE were discussing Retribution's new presentation, noting that it was met with laughter at times backstage. Direct quote, "The masks and names are already making the road for these guys impossible to climb." And it's not exactly the start you want. But that's not all, as Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select, which is a great service, please do consider supporting them on Patreon, the reactions of several wrestlers backstage in WWE. A female wrestler said, I feel bad for Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez. It's a good spot, but they've worked so long and are facing a battle to not make this look as dumb as it is. While a SmackDown talent said, I think they load up Raw with that stuff because it's a longer show, but we weren't told why Retribution was off SmackDown. Another wrestler simply said, it sounds like something out of a bad movie or game, but I'm not sure Vince plays games or watches movies anymore. It was also noted that absolutely everyone that Fightful spoke to agreed that new names were ridiculous. Slapjack. Slapjack! It doesn't get any better when I keep saying it. And it's not just backstage wrestlers who were poking fun at Retribution, as CM Punk also chimed in, grabbing a screenshot of Slapjack's mask and commenting, when you're bored in catering and there's an abundance of paper plates. But it's okay, because there's one person in WWE who thought they were badass. NXT's Shotzi Blackheart. Bless her soul. Everyone was wearing super cool masks. All of that appeals to me because I like the darker side of things and I'm for it. They're wrecking stuff and just being destructive. I'm all for it. I'm like, where do I sign up? Shotzi Blackheart, wait, no, sorry. Dark Fist, or Douche Canoe, or Black Shot to Retribution confirmed. Black Shot would actually make sense for her old name at least. But nothing says badass quite like posting on Twitter, so naturally the three named members now have their own accounts, with each posting at least a tweet each. How chaotic of them. And unsurprisingly, Raw's viewership was down for this week's dreadful episode, drawing an average of 1.66 million viewers, down from last week's 1.69 million. But now it's time for another recurring segment. Who is Vince McMahon high on backstage?
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Bianca Belair. And Peyton Royce. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Little double action there. According to a chat between Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio, both Bianca Belair and Peyton Royce are on the list of people that are to be pushed in the near future. Meltzer would say, they want to push Bianca. She's on the list to be pushed, her and Peyton. Bianca was supposedly put on this list about 6 weeks ago, so the video package of her lifting heavy things on Raw would presumably be the start of this push. As for Peyton Royce, she was protected on Raw as she wasn't pinned or submitted in her match with Asuka, as Zelina Vega caused a DQ, so there may be some truth to this list. But speaking of people that use lists, Chris Jericho's in AEW, and a WWE Hall of Famer may be joining him soon. What a segue. Back in April, which was approximately 9 years ago, WWE released a reported 40% of wrestlers and office workers as part of a company-wide cutback. A number of backstage producers were also furloughed, including Gerald Briscoe, who until very recently had been with WWE since 1984. Despite his near 40-year tenure, Vince McMahon made the decision that Briscoe was surplus to requirements and released him earlier this month. Perhaps unsurprisingly, it seems AEW may have made a move to bring Gerald in, as he's been teasing a big announcement for tonight in a tweet which certainly hints that it's AEW related. Oh gosh, we had some technical difficulties. I truly can't wait to tell you my big news. Stay tuned Wednesday night for my big announcement. What do you think it's gonna be? Face with hand over mouth emoji, man shrugging emoji, hashtag Briscoe's big announcement. Or this could be Briscoe just having a bit of fun, much like he did last week with his trolling big announcement, which turned out to be nothing. It's probably that. Bulgarian best man Miro, who made his shock debut in AEW 2 weeks ago as Kip Sabian's best man, will be making his in-ring debut on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. While we don't know yet who he'll be facing, AEW President Tony Khan tweeted the news of Miro's AEW match, and we may well find out at some point today who he'll be facing. This will be Miro's first televised match since February 17th, when he teamed with Humberto Carrillo on an episode of Raw. He was also part of the mass firings on April 15th and is one of 2 wrestlers alongside Matt Cardona to have moved from WWE to AEW since April. Unlike his brother Matt though, Jeff Hardy seems pretty happy in WWE, and as the current Intercontinental Champion and one of the company's top babyfaces, it's easy to see why. He even signed a new 3-year deal with the company recently, but that's not to say he isn't planning for a time when he can no longer fall off things and make us wince. Please stop killing yourself, Jeff. Hardy spoke to the Daily Star Star about his plans for when he does eventually retire, and he admitted he'd love to work with WWE Creative. Hopefully, at the point where I can't wrestle anymore, there might be a creative place for me because I do love pro wrestling and I'm interested in everything that's going on. I still don't feel like I'm a trainer, a coach, or a leader. I just feel like somebody who would never really be seen, but has these unique ideas that might be cool for a show or a storyline. And finally today, have you ever wanted to taste the essence of The Undertaker, or to feel the flavor of the Ultimate Warrior on your tongue? Ugh. Well, now you can, because WWE has just released 2 different bottles of wine and will be selling them on WWEWines.com. You've got The Undertaker's Cabernet Sauvignon, which is wine, and the Warrior's Zinfandel, which I'm reliably informed is also wine. And for those of you complaining I don't know enough about wine, I suggest you stop whining about it. Press the video on the right to be taken to our predictions for Clash of Champions, where I'm representing Mr. Davis and the All Authority, while Lukewarm fights for the championship. He won't win. And press the video below that to find out more about another COVID outbreak within WWE. Subscribe here for daily wrestling news videos. I've been Q-Tip. Jam that jam.